B&B started in 1973. Bill Craig and Bob Leonard started B&B together.
I knew there was a business opportunity. A lot of people don't know what B&B means. Bill and Bob, or Bob and Bill, or that way we figured when we picked a name that it was not preferential to either one of us. I wanted somebody that would be ideal doing it because I already had a job, and Bill was my first choice. So Bill was the kind of guy that could take nothing and turn it into something, and that's that kind of partner I wanted.
And Bill was a feed salesman for Mormons.
He said, Bill, you ever thought about maybe we just start our own feed business? And I said, well, I really haven't. But I said, the more we talked about it, I said, and this old warehouse was sitting out here, weeds growing up around. And I said, I don't know. I said, let's give it a try. And so we did.
It was just a warehouse, and it's been built onto several times with the office, and it was a place to get started. And there was no location in the area to buy livestock equipment. The original setup here was more or less just the light stuff, nothing big, and we tried to sell trailers at one time, and it didn't go over because people weren't used to them.
Yeah, we sold feed, and then we just kind of started slowly getting into that. If you're selling feed, you need hog feeders. And so we started adding to the short line equipments and stuff, feeders and that, and then back in, the hydraulic hog carts come along, and the gates, and it just kind of went along with the livestock business, it just kept gradually growing.
We started pretty small and then, grew from there as our customers' needs have grown and been able to offer the products that they need. We have equipment and parts for equipment for those farmers, but also we have those trailers for those weekend side-by-side riders or those that have a mowing business and they need to haul their equipment around. So we've got a great wide variety, really something for everybody.
What we'll purchase here is anywhere from livestock trailers, flatbeds for a pickup truck, gates, barbed wire, posts, sheds, the hoop buildings. We put up 3 of them right now. Feed bunks, anything they've got, we've probably purchased 1 or 2 or several items of it.
All of our livestock equipment comes from here, as well as flatbed trailers. I think every trailer we own has a B&B sticker on it.
We install a lot of truck beds, we sell a lot of trailers from all over. We have customers come from all over the place. New York, Texas, Alaska. We've got a tremendous amount of local customers. That's the core of our customers. We've got a lot of repeat customers.
Yeah, it's almost nationwide, the customers that we deal with.
It doesn't matter if we sell a trailer to a guy in New York or someone in Florida, we try to take care of them the exact same.
We're going to have what they need and we're going to be able to service that for them.
First year was pretty tough. Bill was pretty discouraged because it was so new. People just weren't aware of it and didn't know what was going on. And
he was a young guy. He was 27. He had 2 kids. I understand. He was nervous, but he did it. And, he fought a couple years there.
It was a little scary, and my family, my folks, my wife said, are you sure you're doing the right thing? But it was scary, and the first 3 years was tough.
I can remember he'd come to Golden in my office and he'd, sit on the corner of Lois's desk, my secretary, and talk about how he felt like running out in the middle of the road just trying to stop somebody to sell him something. So Bill had sold livestock feed, so he had a big network of people that he could draw on to start the business here, and so that was a real positive aspect too. He just had a gift with people. He was a people person.
John Seibel, he bought Mormons feed, put up some Cargill floors. Then I quit and started here. And he walked the door one day and he says, what do I need? I said, Jonathan, here I talked to you, Mormons feed. But he says, I wouldn't buy it for Mormons. He says, buy it for you, Bill.
Bill was an integral part of making it successful. We always say you could sell snow to an Eskimo, so of course I'd grown up here just same as Bill, and we knew a lot of people, and so it was a matter of just service more than anything.
Service. Service. What got us here is service. Good people and service. They go hand in hand. Without that, we wouldn't be doing this.
Excellent customer service is something that we really pride ourselves on. So I think, they know that if we don't have what they need, we're going to get it for them, or we're going to be able to fix whatever they have that needs repaired. Just knowing that they can count on us is why they keep coming back.
Whether it's a small problem or a large problem, we try to take care of it to the best of our ability, or we find somebody that can take care of it to their best of their ability.
We talk about it all the time here. We got to take care of our customer, solve our customers' problems. You try as hard as you can to solve their problems, and that's everything. So then they have confidence in what they're buying, but they have confidence in who they're buying from.
They're people that you can put your trust in. They take care of you, and we know that they're running a business, and they know that we're running a business, and we just feel comfortable that we're getting the best deal possible, and we're getting the service to go along with it.
We're very prideful in how we service our customers. That's everything. And not just our business, in any business. How you service the customer is directly related to how well your business does.
By the end of the third year, it was successful. We started out on a very low budget. I think we went to Golden Bank and borrowed $10,000 to start, and just went from there.
The 70s, we was rocking and rolling, and everybody started building these cargo floors. And boy, we were on a roll. We was hauling gates and feeders and putting up cargo floors. And
there was nobody to service that type of industry, so we capitalized on that right away. We got the franchise for Pannier feeders and, of course, other kinds of feeders, but Pannier was the main one for the cargo floor.
And I think that's when Merlin was working for me part-time. He was working in Quincy, just hated his job.
When Bill asked me to come to work for him, and first thing I said, "Nah, I don't think so." So then he talked to me later, and he says, "Okay, so I'll turn in my resignation down there at Gardner." So that was good.
20 years ago, when I came in the door, the first person you saw was Bill and Merlin. So I mean, that was you needed something. Merlin was there, and Bill, was a smiling face. And from day one, he called me neighbor.
Bill was the salesman. Merlin was the guy that made it all work.
Merlin was very good at detail. He got things done.
I made a lot of after-hours delivery, so just don't tell my wife that I enjoyed it. All my years that I was here, 44 years, I definitely enjoyed it.
When Bill and I started, his kids were real small, and my family was young too, and I told him, that if we were successful, down the road, I'd sell out to him, because I already had a business, and as much as I enjoyed it back in the day, it certainly wasn't a problem for me to let him have it. I mean, that was a good deal.
Bill buys out Bob in 1979, and then here come the 80s.
In the 80s, we start out, was not too bad. And then all of a sudden, the 80s, everybody knows the interest started climbing.
Everyone will tell you who was in ag at the time, the 80s were brutal. Interest rates, I've heard guys say they were paying 22% interest before. I mean, that's insane. That is a tremendous amount of interest. So it's all you can do to survive. And he was caught in that. And he's got customers that at the time he was still selling feed. So he has customers that need the feed to take care of their animals, right? Well, they don't have the money to pay him. So he's kind of stuck here. And he's a very nice guy. So, I mean, he kind of had a bleeding heart for it. As he goes into his banker in the 80s, and he walks in, he has his keys, throws the keys on the banker's desk, says, "I'm done. You take it. I can't make the interest payments."
I just went to him one day and I said, "Hey, Lane, I owe you $37,000 interest." And he said, "Bill," he said, "hang in there. It's going to get better." I said, "I'm glad you think so."
So the banker picks keys back up, throws them back out, and says, "I don't want it. We're going to figure it out together." And they did.
It was like 85 or 6. Hogs went to $65. They'd never been that high in history. And then, boy, we was back on a roll again. We were hauling feeders, hauling gates.
Get into some short line equipment. They get out of the feed. They get into trailers, get into horse trailers, livestock trailers, equipment trailers, other kinds of livestock equipment.
They're one of the largest trailer dealers in the state of Illinois, or in the Midwest, really. So that doesn't just happen. You have to make it happen.
They've built this reputation that branches out far.
I mean, people say do a good job here, take care of our customers.
I have a lot of customers come in that over the years they've got to know me and I got to know them, and more like working with friends than it is working with a customer. They always want to know, what I've been doing and my hobbies, like hunting and snowmobiling, and a lot of times they'll ask me about it before they even tell me what's wrong with their truck or trailer.
When you get 100 miles from home and you find half the trailers on the lot are from B&B, that means something.
So then 2014, my wife and I bought out Bill.
Andrew come along, and I said I was ready to do something, and we worked out a deal. I said the best thing that ever happened.
He wanted to slow down. The timing was right. So my wife and I bought it in 2014. I was 26. We had just been married, and then we had our first daughter. So we had a lot going on. And in 2014, cattle were awesome. Cattle guys were making a ton of money. So we go through our first year in 2014, we made some money. And I thought, oh man, this is all right. And then 2015 came around and it just went right the other way. So it was a good little, kick right there. As time went on, we've added some products. We've expanded on the products that we have.
I mean, I've bought a lot of trailers here from them guys before Andrew. Andrew's just kind of continuing what they laid down to start with.
It's fun to see how he's picked it up and kept it going even greater than what Bill had.
He was like me when I was young. He's ambitious and wants to grow, and he's always thinking his wheels are turning. What if I could do this? What if I could do that?
It's a little dangerous to me to just put your blinders on and say, this is what we do. We're not veering off of this. If we did that, we'd still be farming with horses. You have to adapt, but you don't always know what you have to adapt to, right? So, but that's part of the challenge. That's part of it's kind of exciting. It's a little scary, but it's kind of exciting. And that just, it fires me up. B&B did the first hoop buildings in the early 90s. A lot of guys were putting hogs in them. The big confinements were coming in. There's a little bit of a transition period from dirt hogs to, Cargill floor hogs, and then into these hoop buildings. Sold a few every year here and there, and kind of, I don't want to say dabbled in it, but didn't really push it hard. It was just another thing that we offered that our customer could use. I noticed this thing that we had, these buildings, and I thought, boy, that's something that we could really expand on this. So we put a little bit more resources to it, pushed on the gas a little bit harder, and we started selling these things. Started selling them, and the people that were building them for us at the time, they moved away. And I remember they called me and they said, Andrew, we know you just bought this business and we know you've got buildings for us to build, but we're leaving the area, we're moving away. And I said, I'm talking with my father-in-law, who's a very talented man, and he offers to help me.
I wanted to help him and help his family, and see them prosper and maybe, run the business or have a business to run as they get older. We started out building mainly equipment storage, hay storage, and now we're starting to get more into cattle buildings, and we do a lot of jobs for municipalities, for salt storage and things like that. So I think we'll just keep growing, as we branch out into other types of buildings.
The business grew, and it's grown and it's grown and it's grown, and we've actually spun that off on its own now, and we're continuing to grow. We have phenomenal employees, guys on our team that build. Our crews they're all our own in-house, got all our own equipment. We go all over and we build these things. And I didn't expect it to be to be as big as it has gotten, but now that it has, it's gonna get a lot bigger.
B&B, I think as far as the future is just what Andrew wants to make of it. It'll be here.
The next 50 years, that's a tough question. It's kind of exciting to think about that. You know, my kids will be 50 years older. I'll be 50 years older.
Andrew has generations coming up behind him too, and his kids come in here too. So, you know, I think just having that multi-generational aspect is really what's going to help us be here for another 50 years.
Our people that work for us are great people. We want great people. We have great customers. For me personally, a lot of that's my wife. You know, I go home and she's there for me. She's tremendously supportive. And that means a lot. You know, if you don't have that, I don't think you could do that. I don't think you could operate very well. At least me, anyways. And I get to go home to her and my 3 kids. She homeschools our 3 kids, which is, the value in that is massive, massive. It means so much to me. And, you know, without her behind me, without her behind me, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. I have an absolutely fabulous life. We have a ton of fun. And I get to come to work every day and do something that I enjoy doing. I get to talk with customers that I enjoy talking to. I get to deal with people that I like dealing with, products that I like dealing with, and industries that I like dealing with. It's awesome. I mean, it's great. It's the best way to live. And we live in a phenomenal community. We have morals. The community has morals. The people we deal with, we have morals. It's meaningful to me. That's what makes the business so great, is when you have such good customers and we have excellent people. We have great people that work for us, and they understand it, they get it, and we're growing. That's what's exciting to me. We're not stale, we're growing. We're always looking for something new. We're always looking for ways to make ourselves better, and we're gonna continue to grow. It's gonna keep getting better. That's what makes us B&B Livestock Supply.